And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, for this, the second hour of Masks: A New Generation. So, you lots are moving towards the eruption of arcane magic that you saw in the skyline. But we cut back to the form of White Sparrow. Sparrow,
Yeah.
you've just like jostled the magic in the area. You broke free from her grasp, and you've tricked up the Arcanoscape. Magic feels very weird and wonky, and being temporarily emboldened by sorcerer's energy as you are, you have this queasiness in your stomach. Like your powers are turning knots inside you because you've created the space where it's hard to maintain focus on. But you're largely in control of it. It was a full hit after all, so it's okay. It's not like suddenly vomiting in all directions. You're okay.
I mean, I imagine it's unpleasant. Even I did call upon some dark shit.
Yeah, you did. So, and you have temporarily, like in this space here where you're at right now, you have weakened Morrigan. Though she is by no means down for the count, and yeah, she cries to you, right, like, you mistake me, when you say that she shall never try to take you captive again, and you feel this like pressuring. We see like this like corona of energy surround you as she reaches towards you, pushing in on you with an effort of arcane energy. You take +1 to deal with her in this scape.
This time, I would like to try and dodge it, and well, I'm quite fast.
Yeah. So you want to like flee from this effect.
Yes, I think Sparrow lets herself fall backwards and, turns into something that can fly in midair.
Yeah. As you do so, as you dip down, you notice behind you as you're free falling that this like corona of arcane energies that was trying to shut around you is moving autonomously and chasing you. Like it's flying after you.
I think as she dives, she says, "Yeah, I mistook you for someone powerful," and then she turns into a what's it called? They're fast bird.
A hawk?
Hawk?
Yeah, let's say hawk.
Falcon? Peregrine falcon?
Yeah, peregrine falcon. That one.
Ah, cool. That's the world's fastest bird.
Yes, and I already have super speed.
All right.
Well, I did just dive.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't actually need to turn into that bird to run really fast. So
It's
let's
part of my powers.
sure. Let's see if you can outrun this ring of magic chasing you.
I now have an image of a peregrine falcon standing on the ground and running. really, really swiftly.
Hopping very fast.
So
Yes.
we have like a wide panel shot of you. We have a wide panel shot of you like dodging and juking this thing as it's coming after you. In the background of the shot, we see Morrigan like drawing in arcane power, even as the Arcanoscape around her is like messing with her. She's like like making hand gestures and looking weird and eldritch. Let's have you roll to see if you can dodge this like this thing, whatever it is she's throwing at you. You don't actually know. I guess actually you have sorcery as a temporary power that could confer some measure of insight into what she's doing.
Does it? Like
Like
intuitively?
maybe it could. Yeah,
Maybe beyond this is bad.
yeah, I think so. I think you would have like an idea of what that is. To others, it would be like, "Whoa, this feels no. Let's not touch that." To you, this is some kind of like she's trying to like to shapeshift you. She's trying to force your form into something different, and like lock you tight in a form that she finds more palatable. She's trying to change you. She's literally trying to change who you are. It's the physical manifestation of every adult you've ever met.
Fuck her then. So what do I?
Fight the power!
So what do? You're trying to outrun this thing. So that is unleashing your powers to see if your speed will carry you outside of its reach. I suppose it's a question of it seems to just like chase you no matter where you juke and jive in this area.
Or can I do the classic of flying past her then?
You could definitely try that, though that is unlikely to work, you are aware, because she's ultimately the one in control of it, even though she's not mentally guiding it. But you could definitely try to like target it to something else, heat-seeking missile style.
Definitely, and I am also in the midst of being a provocative little shit towards her, so,
Yeah.
I mean...
So, I think you could try that. Why don't we roll to unleash your powers and see what's up?
Oh.
Ow. Yeah. Okay. So you do actually maybe we see you try it, right? Like you do a concerted effort of it. You're like whizzing around beams and stacks of construction supplies, and then you swip past her, and the arcana flies straight towards her, and there's this moment of being like, aha, take that, right, the old crone. And then the thing just like splits in two as it's about to touch her, and then pincer moves you and just like crushes it on both sides. You feel beset upon by a sensation of like arcane pressure, and your form, this like falcon shape that you're in, changes. You see your feathers grow black, and your face distends as you're being forced into the shape of a raven.
Definitely fuck her.
And you have this like there is this sensation of getting weakened by it. This is a very uncomfortable sensation for you. And just as this happens, I think the speedster shows up. So
speedster, punch her in the face.
Vigil, you arrive at what seems to be like a construction site, and as you just like dip beyond the fence to the place, you see a falcon. Moving with the speed of what was it again? The speed of conviction?
Speed of thought, actually.
Speed of thought, yeah.
Speed of conviction.
Get trapped by like two flying autonomous almost like glowing faces of magic, and get warped into a raven. You have this like sensation of dread as you see it, and you also see in the form of Monica LaFay hovering.
Morgan.
Morgan Le Fay, hovering with like laughing, or I should say cackling, as this is happening.
So I see those like tendrils and like extended towards the eagle falcon.
Yeah, the raven thing.
So what he would probably do, like still keeping the momentum, he would just, jump towards the burb.
Yep.
And then like
snatch it away.
Yeah, no, in like a like weird spinning motion, he would take like a sword and project a sword or some bladed weapon and just spin around and try to cut off the tendrils.
All right, yeah, that seems
and
like
impose himself with.
You wanna snatch control away from Morgan.
Well, basically, he wants to defend the.
Yeah, I can see that. Okay, that seems appropriate to me. Roll to defend.
Yep. Pew.
Also mark potential, Sparrow.
Oh right, that's a thing.
All right, so you do it, but there's something up here. So you defend her, but it costs you. Do you expose yourself to danger or escalate the situation? And do I ask you this question or do I decide? Let's find out.
Are you letting Brain decide whether or not you decide?
That's a good question, Rasmus. I don't actually know.
Expose yourself to danger, it refers to. I think I choose because the move is addressed at the player, so it refers.
Your choice. Yeah, it's your choice.
He will expose himself to danger because that was reckless, and I will choose one to clear a condition.
All right. Cool. What condition do you clear?
The only one that I have.
What is that?
Clear my hopeless.
You clear
His only condition is not being a raven.
That's true. So you see what you can only assume to be Sparrow being forced into the shape of a bird, and there's like a kind of like unsettlingness to it. It feels wrong, and you see these like these like traces of magical energy float between Morrigan and Sparrow. As you jump forth, you bring out your sword, you cut through the tendrils, and they do split. We see like a kind of like we see them form the remnants of a chain around the raven form of Sparrow and fall to the ground and dissolve. And you have like a ring around your neck, basically, Sparrow, that also dissolves into light. She being unable to basically lock you down with these like chains. As Finn cuts them. However, the chains like the Eldritch Light like pulls back and then snakes forward, snapping around your wrist guards that you use to manifest your powers, and rematerializes as chains, slamming you towards the ground and like locking your arms down, as the chains that you have freed Sparrow from instead ensnare you.
Okay.
The raven makes a sound that sounds vaguely like Finn.
Indeed. Oh, I forget. Can you communicate telepathically? No, that's not a power you have, is it?
Squeak.
And I don't remember if I ever established any kind of I can't communicate as an animal. I don't remember if I have.
You definitely can't in this form. You've been trapped in the actual like form of a bird. She's intending to just like put you in a cage and bring you along as the catalyst. You're feeling this. You tell me how this feels. I'm imagining this would be like horrible in some way, but as a shapeshifter, you become very quickly and keenly aware that you can't change your shape.
Yes, and I think that's. I suppose it's kind of the. I suppose in a way it's kind of like being mind control, because the way Sparrow changes shape is because she's her own psychic projection, so she is always completely aware of her entire body, and now she's not in control.
Yeah. It's like it's like being able to reach for that part of you that allows you to do this thing, and instead just being met with the playful, dangerous stare of Morrigan Le Fay.
Maybe it kind of feels like being amputated in a way.
Ugh, that's gruesome. I love that. Okay, so yeah. This happens, and you see Finn being jerked to the ground as he slams down. His armor absorbing the initial blow. He's wearing armor that looks different, but also suddenly like these chains are like around his wrist and burrows into the ground below, into the concrete, and like just pulls his arms down onto the ground as you're like being forced to a knee. And tied down, and we see Morrigan like look at you. She squints. She's like, "Oh dear me, another one. I remember you, boy. Though that's different. You've moved up in the vigil. Congratulations."
He's not responding. He's just like looking at her, but he's inside. He's focusing. He's calming down, and he's focusing because he's unconditioned right now.
Well, congratulations, my boy. Here, have a present. And she extends a hand, and we see this power she's been pulling in from the scape around her, like materializes little pinkish lightning at her fingertips. And shoots towards you with a sap.
I wish to react.
What do?
Well, I think as she's telling to Vigil, the raven kind of flops to the ground and moves around weirdly because this is new body. I can't. What is this? And then as she does that, it gets up on its feet and well, now I guess she's White Raven. Screeches towards Morrigan, and assuming I still have my sorcery powers unlocked, I want to light the ambient magic on fire.
Interesting. That sounds awesome. So, cool. You totally try that. Take -1. This is strange and different and unsettling, but you can totally try it. I want to see you try it.
Does that cancel out the influence thing?
That you have over her? No, not at all. You still have influence.
So that's -1 plus 1, so it evens out.
Yes.
Finn, help me!
Mm.
I need just one from the team pool.
Is Finn?
Or
I
Starlight could help me if she magically arrives at the scene at the right time.
Yeah, maybe this is the time where one of you arrives. Who do you reckon is the second swiftest? Oh, sorry, the third swiftest among. No, second swiftest among you.
I would say third swift is Vigil, Sparrow, then one of the others. Because those are the two who have super speed.
I think it would be. Nightshade.
It's either Nightshade or Starlight because she can fly after all.
Yeah, that's true.
Nightshade got the parkour down.
That's right.
Damn right. All right, so let's assume then that you're in a position here where if you want to, you can spend team to assist this if you can tell me how. And this is the time. Basically, it's not like, and then he arrives, and then we wait 15 minutes for the rest of you to arrive. You're all trailing in now, but the one at point here is Nightshade.
Mm-hmm. So go over what you were doing again, Sparrow.
The Sparrow Raven is screeching using magic to ignite the ambient magic she created earlier.
I think the way you see this is like we see this in the comic as like, you know, screaming rings like Black Canary style as you're screeching, right?
Right.
It's like,
yeah.
And this is like kind of like bending and making the sap of energy that she's shooting towards Vigil, like kind of it's pushing it back as though it was made of something that's affected by wind or something. Like it's like retreating back and coiling up like a snake. And there's that moment, like that standoff moment where clearly what the raven creature is doing is affecting the scape around and trying to help Vigil.
You can distract her concentration.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking about doing, is just rushing in and
Throwing something?
Throwing something, or
Punch her in the face.
yeah, that's what I was thinking, running up and just hitting her in the face.
Oh yeah, that's a thing you can do. Don't you have a drive for this?
You do?
Oh yes, punch someone I probably shouldn't, so I'm definitely going to run up and just sock her in the face.
One could argue that as a superhero, you are absolutely supposed to punch the bad guys.
That's
but
true.
I would also counter-argue that this is a bad decision. So, you know what? I'm okay with this. This counts.
Yes, okay, yeah. I definitely see it, and so in his, like, moment of seeing what's going on, he decides that just running up and clocking her would probably break her concentration.
Yeah.
And I think that I also had the insecure condition, which I think I can cure by taking foolhardy action.
Yes. This is something you can do.
I'm thinking this is probably foolhardy.
It is. You're absolutely putting yourself in just the most awful position right now.
Right. So, yeah, I'm just going to run up and like parkour off some stuff and then just sock her right in the face.
All right, so this happens. So we spent the team from the pool, first and foremost. Boop. This now jumps up to a 7. So my good Rasmussy feller, my good Sparrow, you now get to take a condition for this to work, or you get to tell me how the effect is unstable or temporary.
I think...
Oh, sorry, I tell you if it's either or, but you know what I mean.
I think for this, because this is an immensely uncomfortable situation, and I'm already tapping into something bad, I'll mark angry.
All right, mark angry. So it works as it's supposed to. However, and this is the downside to this, So Nightshade appears from off frame, sailing in heroically from the side. Morrigan turns her head in the last second. He's like, "Wait, what?" And just like gets clocked in the side, like just gets sucker punched. You feel the impact towards this like outer shell of energy that's much similar to what we saw earlier when you fought the witches in the park. There's like basically like a defensive like layer that you're striking, so you're not like clean punch to the face. You're hitting something, but there's clearly like a concussive impact to her, and she her head sails sideways as you do this. Her concentration snaps, the energy like splits off, and the waves of energy that you're sending out, the little you're sending out, catches the energy surrounding her on fire, and suddenly like there's this like conflagration of arcane flame, but it hits both Nightshade and Morrigan. Yeah. So do take a powerful blow, Nightshade.
All right.
Sorry.
Oh, this might actually work in what I want to do. So, shit.
Ow.
Alrighty.
All right. So, what will you be picking from that list?
So, I'm going to lose control of yourself or your powers in a terrible way.
All right.
So, what happens though?
Don't become me. Don't become. Oh no, you're becoming Hydra, aren't you?
What happens is when he starts losing control, you see like fear appear in his eyes, and something starts bubbling up from his skin.
Interesting.
And you hear like a "I'm free."
Oh, that's creepy.
I don't think I like the sound of that.
And then all of a sudden you see like this oozing humanoid looking thing appear out of Nightshade.
Dude, that's nasty.
And it just starts cackling.
Oh yeah, it's definitely like made of like midnight bluish sludge.
Yes.
I love that so much. Okay, cool. So, like, creepy humanoid dripping monster face creature breaks out of your skin, and kind of like lurches over you on like a distended, like, goopy form, laughing with a rolling, bubbling sound as this happens. Oh, this is just the greatest. This just turned into this turned into sexy times. Okay.
I hope not.
So, this is you like you're basically like the explosion happens, you're knocked sideways, and as you're like trying to like roll around, like regain yourself, this sensation bubbles to the surface. The rest of you arrive. Starlight, Diamond, you arrive on the scene, as you see this effect take place, and I think this explosion that you just created is enough to actually harm Morrigan, which means I have to do something just as you two show up. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, okay, cool. So you arrive at the scene. You see Nightshade being in trouble. You see Vigil tied down. You see what you can only assume to be Sparrow in Raven form, maybe. Who knows? And there you see as like glowing spellfire fades in the middle of this. You see the form of Morrigan rise out of the fire. Her eyes shooting lightning. She's furious.
Like for reals or just?
No, just like figuratively speaking.
Because with her you don't really know.
It's true.
That's a very, very good point.
It's very true. You're making a good point. As she does this, she's like, she looks to you, is like, "Oh, I see, it's all of you, isn't it? You little menaces. Well, this time won't be anything like the last time." And she flies upwards, and as she does this,
I think at that point, if that's the first thing more or less that she hears when she arrives, I think Diamond just looks, raises an eyebrow, and goes like, "Last time? First time ever I've seen you, lady."
Interesting, cool. So yeah, because this is a stranger to you, right? But
Yeah.
you can also probably clearly tell that's not the case for the others.
No. I mean, she's being all nonchalant about it while cracking her knuckles and getting ready to tear this woman's arms off and beating her to death with the wet end.
Sure. So we see Morrigan ascend through the skeleton of the building, and she puts her hands together. We see like a circle of runes form around her, and she speaks. There's like a speech bubble coming from her that's just like full of what looked like rune script. In the comic, we can't tell what she's saying. But she's saying some kind of mumbo jumbo, and
Mumbo jumbo.
And the circle of runes flies up over the the building, and then starts swirling on itself like starts spinning, and a kind of gravitational force seems to like pull up construction supplies, pull up the iron beams of the building, pull up the fence, and nearby like cement truck start like floating upwards. And we see, like, as we turn the page in the next panel, there is the shape of a giant construction building monster man having been animated, standing above you like, "Rrrr!" It has like a nearby ice cream truck has taken the shape of its head and is like furrowing its brow at you. And there's like this glowing core in its chest of eldritch runes as it raises its giant fist,
Guys,
ready to strike you down.
You go after the woman. I'll deal with the angry ice cream truck. I don't know her anyway. I wouldn't know her from Eve. You go get her. I'll take care of the truck.
Yeah, so like a building is raising its fist and getting ready to just like punch down in the area where you're all at.
Yeah. Well, punch it back.
Meet it head on.
Yeah.
That ass.
Just gotta fucking throw yourself at it, just battering ram the fist as it comes down.
Quite simply grab, its momentum with my own strength and force it to its knees, that sort of thing.
All right, so it sounds to me like you're defending the others.
Yeah.
Right,
which is something I'm really, really horrible at. But there you go.
It's true, but hey, I mean, you're strong, powerful.
Yeah, I've also got -2 to Savior, so yay.
Let's see what's up.
Oh joy.
Oh joy, oh joy. But why not give it a shot?
Yep.
Oh, to joy.
Hey, I get a hit.
Sweet.
Nice.
So as we do, right, the giant building, we've had this before, the giant building raises its fist and swings it down. You jump forward, you punch back up in the same direction. Jamie Christopherson starts singing Rules of Nature in the background, and your fist impacts the downcoming swinging hand of the building with a giant explosion of force. You do successfully do this, but there's a cost here. You expose yourself to danger or escalate the situation.
I'll expose myself to danger.
I think that's what it is, at least.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. All right. So I
shall expose myself to danger and be massively heroic and stuff.
Cool. I mean, there's no doubt for you what this is, right? So we see you like run in amidst the others as the shadow grows darker around them of the oncoming fist blocking the moonlight, and you jump up and you strike, and the impact just like punches its arm like it lurches backwards as the strike doesn't hit your friends, but at the same time you just like take the impact, and there's a U-shaped hole in the construction lot amidst your friends, like you just plow into the ground below.
Yeah, ouch.
Definitely take so you just like you feel like concrete and dirt and like probably a sewer pipe, like just like crash around you as you just sink into darkness. Roll to take a powerful blow. Let's see if you're okay. You're almost okay. Pick an option from the take a powerful blow list.
I am about to look it up. Unfortunately, I didn't really have it open because I'm dumb like that. Let me see. Take a powerful blow. Here we go. Yeah, let's try this because the rest of you seem so damn pleased with this option. So let me try for a change to be the one who loses control of myself or my powers in a terrible way.
Oh, don't. So you don't take those up there. You take from the 7 to 9 options because you.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
That's okay.
Oh, right.
Need to juggle all these things.
If I mark 2 conditions, I have all 5. That means I pass out, doesn't it?
It means that when you need to take your next, you pass out.
All right.
So you are at the shittiest point before the end.
Well, I did get shoved into the ground, so I suppose my opposition gets an opportunity.
That seems appropriate, right? So there's like a moment here of Diamond digging herself out, where there is a problem here. Yeah, sure. And I think what this moment of opportunity is the monstrous creature of Ares serum that has become sentient, boiling out of Nightshade, turning its gaze towards Vigil as he's trapped in the with his hands tied down, and it cackles and bubbles merrily as it's like, oh, unmoving prey, my favorite, blop 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 blop, and it squelches towards Vigil. Starlight, the giant building person has been temporarily punched off balance. High above you, you see the form of Morrigan hovering and enjoying the spectacle. And now a goopy monster of evil fighting juice is floating towards Vigil, who's tied down by magical chains. What do you do?
What thing?
What do you do with the so are you aware of your situation?
No, what is the Gooby Goop?
It's basically like a sentient monster made of the Ares serum that you dealt with in Veracine. Wait, no, you dealt with it in the Mountain Works chemicals building.
Where did that thing come from?
It's been living inside me.
Yeah, it's been existing inside Nightshade, and now it's boiled out of his skin and has taken its like a shape of its own. Now that he's losing control of his power, it's probably like spilling out of your mouth, just awfully.
Vomiting it on the ground.
Yeah.
I agree with Joan. You?
And it seems to be like cackling amusedly to itself as it moves towards what it has described as unmoving prey or helpless prey, which is supposedly Vigil, who is struggling, like tearing himself free from a pair of magical manacles holding him to the ground. Remember, you have push to talk on, in case you want to tell us what you're doing.
I know. I'm still just pondering what is going on because I've been falling on and off the internet for a while now.
Ah, that's a shame. So, do you want me to outline it, like the idea of what's going on around you?
Where's the Ravenbird thing?
The Ravenbird thing is immediately in front of you.
Okay, why is it immediately in front of me?
Because you have just arrived at the outskirts of the construction yard to support your friends. And
right.
Raven is right there. Little bird sparrow is there.
But didn't Finn run up to help?
He did.
He also helped. That's why he's the one who's shackled.
Oh, so he's the one shackled now. Why is that building alive?
Because Morrigan created it in anger at her being punched in the face and exploded.
Oh, well, I got to blame her. I'm just run back into Roll20.
All right. It's a shame
Because
that-
it threw me off again.
Yeah, I'm coming to be of the understanding that your internet is playing a hoax on you today.
I don't actually think it's the internet. I think it's my PC fucking up everything for some reason.
Curious.
It keeps jumping off the internet, but no one else in the house is having the same issue. I can't open anything. Anything that requires internet also F's up.
That's a shame. I hope you will be able
So-
to participate.
Well, I'm in again.
All right.
And for some reason I open Sparrows. There we go. Now we have the right sheet.
Well, I am very interesting.
Not really. Okay.
Thanks.
Ow! Shots fired.
Casual burn.
You've been hanging out too much with Helle.
Actually, I've been hanging out too much with you.
Helle is the queen of dry burns.
Actually, Rasmus, you haven't heard him before, have you?
I recall some good Rasmus burns too. Yeah.
Yep.
So what do you reckon that Starlight does in this moment? There's a bunch of stuff going on around you, and it's all very hectic.
And everything seems to stem from Morgan. Per usual.
Well, there seems to be basically 2 to 3 separate issues going on. The two immediately, like, the three big threats that you can see now is Morrigan is here. That's always bad news. There's a house stomping on you, and there is a goop monster spilling out of Nightshade.
Every orifice.
Yikes.
Ew. So someone is vomiting, the other one is caught, the other one is a raven, and Joan is fighting an angry ice cream truck.
I thought the ice cream truck was a misunderstanding. It was the building. I thought it was he referenced an ice cream truck.
So the face of the giant building monster is like an ice cream truck that has like been pulled out from like a nearby street and has like taken the form of its head, like a Power Rangers saw it like landing and doing a thing, but it's like just shaped itself into the face of like a frowny creature, and it's playing like a little jingle, like just.
I hate that thing already.
I mean, if it's not a Danish ice cream truck, it's creepy as fuck. So
Danish ice cream trucks are bad enough.
yeah, but the happy little melody the others play just reminds me of horror movies.
That's really creepy. I agree.
There's like a little speech bubble coming out of its head. It's like distorted all because the speaker in it is kind of being twisted and crushed a bit, but it's like, you scream, I scream, we all scream for ice cream, as it's stomping over you.
Kill it!
Go away. Anyways,
So the bird is being chased by an ice cream truck?
Well, so the giant building monster with the face of an ice cream truck is regaining its balance after Diamond jumped up, just punched its fist as the fist was coming down, and has like shoved it off balance. Diamond in return got propelled into the core of the earth, and is digging herself up.
Oh, that's gonna take a while.
yeah.
Well, if the bird is alright, then I suppose I should help the one in shackles.
All right. So
Alright is so much is not in danger, I would say.
Not at the moment.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Did you hear? Have you heard? Have you heard?
It is my understanding that everyone have heard.
Exactly. Bird is the word. Bird.
Stab!
Yay! I just broke my flatmates.
Poor
Rasmus having to deal with you all the time. What is this?
To be completely honest, I think this is only payback for all the times he is almost horrible to deal with.
Yeah, I think
I'm
that's.
never horrible to deal with. I'm delightful.
I'm pretty sure that you're collectively you are 6 out of the 7 levels of hell. Just the two
Damn
of
it,
you.
we have to work harder, Rasmus.
Yeah, we need
so-
to get the 7th as well.
So I understand that Starlight like steps into to help Vigil as the goop monster comes towards him. What do you intend to do? Like how do you intend to help? Do you attack the goop monster? Do you try to free Vigil? What's the plan?
See, Nightshade can deal with his own issue right now because Vigil is caught and we have a building that's on a rampage. And, well, he's probably fine. He isn't being attacked right.
It's true. Like there is a horrible like genie-esque monster of sludge crawling out of his mouth. He's like clawing at his face, but he's probably fine.
Oh, you didn't say it was already at him.
No, so the goop monster is spilling out of Nightshade, but it's coming towards Vigil. Nightshade
So
is,
it's
Nightshade
leaving
is currently...
Nightshade to attack Vigil, who's in shackles.
Yeah, the monster
Okay,
is as a
because I
result
understood
of...
it was attacking Nightshade.
I'm sorry about that. That's probably me being unclear. But yeah, the goop monster is a result of Nightshade losing control of his powers. So the Ares serum has gained sentience and is floating out of him, attacking Vigil.
Alright, I'm gonna kill that thing.
Alright, you're gonna sap the goop monster.
I'm not gonna sap it. I'm gonna use my cosmic energies to erase it from reality.
Okay, chill. You're not God. But I appreciate what you're saying. You want to use cosmic energies to kaplow it. I dig that.
Yes.
Eradicate.
So
I'm gonna eradicate the thing.
Delete.
I'm gonna do the burn thingy.
When you said that, this is like a really old reference. There was a comic book called Witch, or Witch, that had a character in the early seasons who, in a certain world of hers, she could just like move her hand and like makes things stop existing. That's the first thing I thought of when you said like I'm just gonna remove it. You were suddenly that character in my mind. I had to remind myself you're not. Okay,
Oh,
so
crap.
roll to directly engage.
She did.
No, I needed
That was
burn
for
to do
burn.
the reality thing to sap it.
Oh,
Okay.
so what? So
But that's a horrible miss.
yeah, it is.
So no burn for you.
Let's see. On a yeah, that's on a miss. You hold 2 burn and mark 3 conditions.
Oh my god.
Oh crap.
You have
That
2
takes you
burns
all the
and-
way up to 5 again, right?
Yep.
So you
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
So yeah, the cosmic energies swirl within you, reminding you with their violent jostling against your insides that they are in fact completely out of your control, and are horribly, horribly dangerous.
So this is kind of weird because it made her afraid, angry, and guilty in one go.
Yep.
But that's just perfect because it matches her insecure and hopeless perfectly.
So I'm imagining like that's the trick with the Nova, right? You are functionally speaking like everyone else, you're just another teenager going around and doing teenage stuff. Also a superhero. That is also pressure. But as opposed to the others, you like sometimes have to try to go Super Saiyan, but when you do, you become so immediately keenly aware that you just have to lose concentration for a second for it to go infinitely wrong.
Yeah.
So yeah, you now have 2 burn and the monster is like basically nose to nose with Vigil and like tapping its lip with like a finger, being like, how to assimilate.
And then overcharge and
So interesting. So you use overcharge when you unleash your power, but it sounded to me like you were going to try and fight this thing. What is it you want to unleash your powers to do? What?
stab it.
All right, so that is not useful for overcharging. Roll to directly engage.
Yay, danger.
Danger, master. Danger.
Oh no, it's still at 0 because I have anything in conditions. Woohoo!
Ooh, yeah.
Yay!
Hooray! All right, so that's almost a full hit. You have a partial hit here. so you trade blows, and you can pick one from the list of the stuff that happens when you engage a target. What do you want to do?
I have to find it.
It's in Basic Moves 1. Oh, wait, it's just called Moves.
It is?
It's called Moves P1. Let me actually highlight it for you. There.
Oh, it's the very first one. I kept looking at the lower ones and thinking, where the fuck is it? But it's the very first one in Basic Moves. Yeah.
You don't assume it would be, but yeah, there it is.
Perfect.
So what you trade blows with it. Which do you want to do in addition to that? You can pick one of these options.
I think I'm gonna take its physical form from it.
Interesting. So you blow up its goopiness and it has to reform. So you give your teammates like a moment to like do stuff without being threatened by the goop monster. Cool.
Basically, it's just kind of a quote from Ahmed the Dead Terrorist. Over there, and up there.
Cool. So we see you like extend your hands and like shoot like a beam of cosmic energy at it. And it turns around and it's just like, ha 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 ha! And then suddenly it's like swelling up like a balloon. It's like, pop! And it just like spills in all directions. Like, it's just all
You
over.
have basically just accomplished the final scene of the Ghostbusters movie. You are now covered in Mr. Stay Puft.
Choose the form of your destroyer. I would have loved that. I should have done that. It'd be like a happy like mascot face instead of an ice cream truck. It would have been good. Sorry. Anyway, so that happens, and suddenly like there's bluish goop everywhere, and it just like has like, and then we see it like slowly starts to like pour down the sides of the building and the construction yard, and like goop over the ground, moving towards like a center point. But there is like it's taking its time. It's like slowly gooping its way there. You have a moment here where you can try to help Vigil or do something else. What do you want to do?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get Vigil out of the restraints.
All right. How do you do that?
On them.
He is held by magic, right?
Yeah, there's like magical chains holding him to the ground.
Well, gotta destroy them somehow.
Yeah. What do you do to destroy them? How do you use your powers to do this without hurting Vigil?
It's not a precision tool. I'm sorry if you lose a foot, Vigil.
Giant intergalactic chainsaw comes down.
Nah, I need more hold.
Alright.
No, wait.
You have 2 hold. So
I have 2 hold. Never. I just forgot to note them down. Well, I'm gonna make a construct and have that one pull it apart.
Alright, so you make a construct of energies and direct it to help him pull? And like tear it apart? Cool, I'm into that. So, I think it would have like an effect. I think it wouldn't like immediately do that thing. Just having the construct would not be like, and they snapped. But I think we see the construct like shut its hands around the manacles and like pull up, and the chains emerge from the ground as your hands pull free. And we see these like little crackles of energy, like dance between the construct and the chains as it pulls. And Vigil, you of course like probably are aware that you could probably do something here if you put your back into it. You're super strong, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I missed.
You could actually try to do this. I don't think you roll to create a construct, do you, Starlight?
No, but I did miss my roll before.
Yeah, you did. So cool.
So I had to note.
I think your construct gives Vigil the chance here to break free. So Vigil, why don't you?
So what Vigil wanted to
break
do?
free.
That's why he was like staying quiet in his fight, because he was like focusing.
Yeah.
Like on one knee, and now he like pulls up the other knee, so he's basically kind of in like this squat position.
Yeah.
He tenses his muscles. Like he grabs the chains instead of just being tied by them. And he just goes, and he just tries to, pull. If he cannot break the chains, he will pull the concrete with them. is basically try to wield his powers.
Right, you try to like overwhelm the arcane energies with your.
He's just focusing. He's focusing his inner calm and just flexing and just trying to pull them up.
Dig it. All right.
Roll.
Yeah, you may roll. This sounds to me like you're either unleashing your powers or wielding your powers.
Yeah, I'm wielding. He's conditionless. He's calm AF.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Wield your powers.
Okay. Still at -1. My freak is gone off. But hey. Okay, so on 1, choose
what did
hit
you
choose 1. 7. It's on wield your power, so it's on hit choose 1.
This is definitely sorry, I won't tell you what to pick. This sounds like you're taking hold of something valuable to you, which is your freedom.
I'll create something useful from your environment and just I'm just ripping the chains out of the ground and basically having those 2 poi balls, like chains attached with the pieces of concrete on them.
Possibly, but you will want to, given that you only have one option here, you will want probably the one that lets you walk free.
Yeah.
This could also count as neutralizing a threat, which is you being bound down. Your choice.
Yeah.
The gist of what you're doing here is you're getting free of the bonds, right?
Yeah. So basically, that's what we see. He is like taking hold of something vulnerable to me, and he's basically taking control of his. He's taking control of his entrapment and turning it into a weapon.
Cool, dig it.
So it's basically we see like this like Ben just tenses up for a second and oh my god, what's something cheesy you can say?
Yes, give us the one line.
Oh my god,
we're all
turtle.
Yeah. Oh my god, his eyes flare up. He's like getting this weird aura around him. He slowly raises his hand, ripping out the concrete around him, and he's like, "By the power of the lake, I have the power!" and just rips off the pieces of concrete.
Boo! Boo! You know what? That's better than what I was thinking, so it's fine.
I actually made that joke earlier, except
Yep. I'm shamelessly stealing it.
I was gonna go for like, you've messed with the wrong person. Let me give you a concrete example. But I'm more of a pun guy, so.
No, yeah. So yeah, basically he's well, technically, he's free. He's not restrained anymore, but like he has those like weird chains attached of concrete in his hands.
Yep. I think what we see is just like the eldritch light fade from the chain, and they become like mundane chains embedded in the ground. Yeah. So you yank them up with your feet of strength, and you have like, you could break these chains now, no issue. But right now you just have these like dangling flails of concrete swinging around on your arms.
Yeah. Yeah, probably. So immediately, if I don't know if anybody wants to act immediately, then.
I mean, let's look at what you're doing, right? So you pull yourself free, and then what happens?
And then he basically cracks his neck, looks up at the Morrigan. Yeah. It's like, and he's like, "My turn," and he just suddenly from his hands starts the power, the light that he used to forge his weapons is sipping like to the chains and pieces of concrete, like enveloping them, and he's basically just like jumping up towards Morrigan and trying to like swing them around, just slam windows.
Cool. You jump up and like spring up was using propelling yourself with your feats of strength. sailing towards her. And as you do so, the giant form of the building creature like lurches in front and like brrr, and like reaches down towards you as you're coming up towards it. What do you do? What do you do as this happens?
Oh, sorry, you cut out at the end there. There's a monstrous creature.
Sorry, the construction yard golem intercepts you as you're on your way up, standing in defense of its master, and like reaches for you with a giant hand comprised of steel objects and a cement truck.
He basically, I think he would spin around himself and like be something like out of my way and just try to knock his hand, like basically spin around himself and just knock his hands out of his way.
All right, let's see if you can do that. Roll to directly engage.
Okay, so I'll be pulling my punches so I can roll my savior instead. Well, fighting good fight. Wow, snake eyes. Wow.
Yeah, I was okay. Sure. So that's a good sign that's a good sign that you should not pull your punches when you're fighting a giant construction yard golem that is the size of a skyscraper. These are all things. These are learning experiences. You're like, oh wait, it was at this moment he knew he fucked up. So yeah, you like just to like swing and you try to catch it, and it shuts its fingers around the chains as you like spin around and just like hang in its hand, and it looks at you. You see like this, like we see you hang in the foreground out of focus against the giant staring frown of its face, and it like just reaches up and move like just like whoa, like it just lowers its arm, and then it tries to fling you upwards, just like sends you swooping out across the cityscape. But before this happens, as it lowers down, the others have a chance to do something. So let's say Sparrow, you're a bird.
I am a bird.
Though you are a bird, and though you find yourself weakened, you are not helpless by any means. Her Morrigan's spell is not intended to be like, aha, and I trapped you and made you powerless. It was, you're a bird now, and now I'm gonna trap you in a cage of magic and bring you with me, which she didn't get to. So you now, of course, see Finn swoop upwards, get caught by the golem, and it's moving as though it's ready to just like fucking shoot him like a fucking like rubber band like out across the city.
Well, I think White Raven, what do you call it, moves erratically at first, trying to get her wings to work, because it's not like she's unused to being a bird, but she's flustered, and then she gets her wings working and she flies up, so when the thing throws Finn, she can catch him.
Interesting. All right, so cool. Roll to defend.
Yeah, I like defending.
Yeah, I like what I'm seeing. It's so good. So yeah, the thing like snaps its arm back. Finn goes flying. Vigil shoots out across the cityscape, but you're there. You're just like caught you with like you reach out with your psychic constructs, I suppose, and like snatches him like the giant baseball.
Actually, I was thinking just catching him with my claws.
You're a raven though. Like you don't put. You mean so you're?
I imagine it looks weird.
You're kind of strong though. That's the thing I need to remember.
Am.
So yeah, maybe this is like. This is like a weird instance of being like caught by a bird, and it looks comedically undersized to carry you at all. But you just like, whoop, then you get caught by a buff raven.
Yes. Can I then turn this kapow into momentum?
You can spend your success here doing something. Remember that you don't just save him; you also get to pick from this list.
And if I roll a 10, I can just pick one. Yes.
Yeah, you choose one from this list.
You know what? I will add a team to the pool as the bird catches him, does a somersault, and flings him towards Morrigan.
Cool.
It shouldn't be able to, but it does.
Yeah, you totally do that.
Magic.
So you're definitely setting Finn up here to make another attack. So the issue for you here is the same as it was for Finn. There is a giant golem in the way, right? It's deliberately protecting its master. So
But
when
it's
you
recovering from having just thrown him.
it's not recovering. There was no shuddering, mega strong superhero girl just jumping up and punching it out of the way this time.
It has literally just extended its arm to throw. It needs time to get back in position to defend.
Ah, that's a curious observation you're making. Okay, maybe this thing is a bit slower than we initially thought. I can take that. So, so you have an opening here. You can throw Finn towards Morrigan.
I do it.
Right, Finn, do you feel the teamwork here? You're just like, oh yeah, I know what he's about to do. I'm ready. Or you're like, what are you doing? And then you find yourself sailing through the air. What's the vibe here?
Hey, Finn was used that projectile before. He is fine with this.
All right, so you're feeling this. We see the evolution of the stratagems we've seen so far as you find yourself sailing through the air towards Morrigan. And the creature, lurching as it does, is a bit too slow and is like trying to reach for you as you sail past its hand and over its shoulder towards the floating witch in the air. She, of course, looks back at you when you do so, when you come at her. But let's see if you can directly engage her here. So, go for it.
I would argue that he could take one from the pool to add +1.
Definitely.
Oh, well,
And
that
since
we'll
I
see that.
added one
We'll
to
see
the
that
pool,
after
that
the roll.
cancels out, I guess.
If you want to, like, so what this is if Finn rolls, you have already set yourself up to spend team on this.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I'm calling if I want to use my fight a good fight again. Yeah, I rather roll at +2 than not.
All right. So what does it look like? What does it look like when you pull your punches here? Because that definitely informs the fiction of how you're attacking.
He when he pulls your punches, he's basically trying to. His hits are aimed to like restrain and very efficiently knock out. They are not, he's not in like a battle rage. He's not trying to. He's fighting efficiently instead of like hitting efficiently instead of like ferociously or something like that. He's not trying to incite fear or he's not trying.
I'm curious about this.
Collateral.
Curious about this because that seems contradictory to what you're doing. You say you're fighting efficiently, but you're literally pulling your punches.
I think you should go with the first one where you're fighting to restrain because you kind of have a bowler.
Yeah,
You could wrap that around her.
Yeah, he's basically not. Well, it's hard to describe because he's fighting in a way that is not aimed to like frighten or surprise your opponent. It's like that's basically what the pulling the punches in this case means. So he's not like overly brutal. He's not, he's not trying to overpower or some, in like intimidating way overpower the enemy. He's just trying to, get her, restrain her, and or knock her out. That's it.
I getcha. All right. Whatever. I'm gonna stand by this. I'm questioning my decision to allow you to roll here, but it's fine. Let's have the roll. She's caught off guard, is what's happening here. So make the roll. You have done that. So what do you choose from your list of options?
Yeah, what are the list of options? I will take something from. I will first. You know what? No, I will take something from them and impress. I cannot impress. Create an opportunity for my allies. So basically, he will go to her and rub the like stones and change, rub his stones around her.
Daniel, sorry to break in just for a moment. Daniel, I just sent you a message privately on Skype. Please read it.
I'm gonna have a look.
And he will just rub the chain around her, and just basically what he's going to do with his momentum, pull her down to the ground, and take her ability to move out of her.
All right, cool. I'm into that. So you're like she's flying around and you're preventing her from that. You're like jostling her and be like, no, you're not going anywhere.
Yeah, it's basically like wrap around her and then just like pile drive her to the ground.
Cool, dig it. All right, so that's one thing you did, right? You did that. You took her maneuverability from her. Then what else?
Yeah, and create an opportunity for your ally. So basically, he's restraining her and pile driving her to the ground to just give her that moment of being stunned or hesitation.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is definitely giving your teammates a moment to do something here. Let's see what happens. Oh yeah, and you don't resist her blows. So you do this. You wrap the chains around her, and as you do that. She speaks. There's like the tiny speech bubble again, full of rune script, and jolts of electricity spring down the chains and electrocute you. And you have to, like, the pain flows through your body. You have to hold on for dear life. You're like, ah, and then you bowling through the pain. You still like propel her towards the ground. She like suddenly like cries out in surprise, right, expecting you to have let go, because of course you would let go, but instead you just power on through and like propel her towards the ground, and you both hit, and we have like a nice shot of the ruined construction yard. There's like we see the leg of the golem in the background, but then there's like this this gout of dust and dirt as she gets like knocked to the ground with you, and like a little trail of lightning following as you impact. I'm into that. Cool. So that happens. Take a powerful blow.
Question: does she has far greater power than me?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I will roll Never Give Up, Never Surrender then.
Excellent.
So I roll my plus savior, and boop. So I can on 13 I can choose two. No, or choose one. Choose one, but I don't mark a condition. Okay, so either I get opportunity against your attacking. I get an opportunity or opening against my attacker.
Okay, you get an opportunity or opening against your attacker. That's cool. And you have given your friends a space to move here. Let's see what this is.
They have an opportunity and I have an opportunity. Everybody has an opportunity.
That's very curious. Okay, cool. So you stand strong and you choose one. You get an opportunity or opening against your attacker. Yeah. All right. So the opportunity you get here is, so the impact kind of like jostles Morrigan for a moment, and she's like reaching her hands for you, like this creepy clawing motion. Her face is full of fury. And you see her focus her attention entirely on you, and in this moment you come to realize that like you look up and you see above you, as there's like a groaning sound, that she's over focusing on you, and the golem is getting weakened. It could, like, there's a possibility here that you could strike a blow against this sentinel, taking it out of the fight.
Oh, can the rest of us react on that?
Oh yeah, you can, because Finn spent his success on engaging to give someone an opportunity.
Well, if no one else volunteers.
All right, so we see you go for the sentinel, and we have the dramatic shot of like you realize, oh, it's getting weaker, though you're not entirely sure how you're going to exploit that, but you could try and assess. I don't know, but we see you like make towards the giant sentinel, and then we take a break. We'll see how that plays out. So we'll be right back with more masks.